Hello and welcome to Fox News Tonight. I'm Brian Kilmeade, and we'll be Brian Kilmeade all week long. Now this, former President Donald Trump's arrest and arraignment, and you saw it right here, is in a turning point in American history. Whatever you think of Trump, you may love him, you may not love him, this entire prosecution is unprecedented. No president has ever been federally indicted and arrested before. Hopefully it won't happen again. But that's exactly how most cable news covered it. This was unprecedented. Wall-to-wall coverage, right? According to Newsbusters, CNN, and MSNBC spent 95% of their airtime covering Donald Trump's arraignment. Think about the buildup over the weekend, too. By now, you'd expect the media to have learned how to cover Donald Trump and his family. But that's the exact opposite of what happened. After the president left the courthouse, he stopped by a famous Cuban cafe in Miami on his way out. CNN, like most networks, took Trump's cafe visit live. For most networks and certainly producers, his surprise stop is a godsend. After all, how exciting are plane landings, SUV caravans, courtroom sketches? But not CNN. This unscripted moment where average voters, as you see right here, show affection and enthusiasm, a human side to President 45, would not be covered. They would not allow it. Watch.
Donald Trump is charged with a series of federal felonies for mishandling the most sensitive government documents that we have, and for obstruction of justice, along with Walt Nauta, who is charged with intentionally setting up lies to the grand jury, to the FBI. Any way you look at this, and again, despite whatever may be going on in that restaurant, this case isn't going to be settled legally in a cafe. It's going to be settled in the court based on the facts and law.
The folks in the control room, I don't need to see any more of that. He's trying to turn this in. He's trying to turn it into a spectacle, into a campaign ad. That's enough of that. We've seen it already.
Yes, all those people in that cafe are actors. They were cast months ago just for this moment. That's a spontaneous reaction. They actually like him in Florida. God forbid CNN broadcast the fact that some Americans in Florida like him a lot, if I can steal the president's cadence. Nicole Wallace on MSNBC was no better. She was angry at her producers for even putting the footage on the screen to begin with. So, by primetime, things had gotten worse. The same media outlets that spent the entire day covering Trump's arraignment suddenly wanted nothing to do with the former president. CNN refused to air Trump's speech. If you tuned in last night, this is what you got.
We're not carrying his remarks live because, frankly, he says a lot of things that are not true and sometimes potentially dangerous. But we do have a small portion, so you can get a sense of his state of mind and how he might be framing his defense. I want to get your reaction to it. We're going to start, of course, I just want to note, he begins this clip we're about to show you by making unfounded claims about the charges against him, untrue and unfounded claims about the charges against him, and the people he thinks are behind it.
Well, okay, he had a speech. At the speech, he actually outlined his defense and his thoughts. That's newsworthy, I thought. But what about MSNBC? Did they air the speech?
We are prepared for his pre-fundraiser remarks tonight to again be essentially a Trump campaign speech. Because of that, we do not intend to carry these remarks live. As we have said before in these circumstances, there is a cost to us as a news organization to knowingly broadcast untrue things. We are here to bring you the news. It hurts our ability to do that if we live broadcast what we fully expect in advance to be a litany of lies and false accusations, no matter who says them.
PBS, meanwhile, issued a disclaimer on Trump's speech, warning viewers that Trump's remarks could cause violence. Yep, violence. You can see their disclaimer on the screen right now. So the same media outlets that covered Trump all day, that used him for ratings, the former president of the United States, the most famous person in the world, love him or hate him, then wouldn't take the speech live because they don't air lies? But how do they know Trump is lying? An indictment is merely an allegation. The media have treated the Justice Department's allegations like they're complete facts. They never have been. They don't even claim they are. They broadcast every claim in the indictment across their airwaves as if they're facts. Yet they won't broadcast Trump's version of events. Now, Trump, whatever you think of him, has a right to respond to allegations in the indictment. Both parties, the Justice Department and Trump, will argue that their version of the facts, the truth, will ultimately be determined by a jury if this goes to a trial. At the same time, Democrats are already trying to smear any Republican who might side with Trump. Hillary Clinton, not exactly squeaky clean herself, as you know, said Republicans defending Trump are delusional.
It's going to be fascinating, I guess, in a bizarre and sad way, to watch them spin themselves up. If you watched any of the news programs this weekend, I mean, their efforts to defend this man are truly beyond anything that I ever thought possible in our country. I mean, it is so profoundly disturbing how this could have been the break. This could have been the opportunity to say, you know, thank you so much for everything you've done for us. We really appreciate it, you know. But this is kind of serious, and so we're not going to, you know, continue to defend you. But no, they're all in again. That's what the psychology of this is so hard for me to fully grasp.
She's back to deplorables, right? In a free country, a democracy, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. She doesn't get that. Every American, Republican or Democrat or otherwise, has a right to make their own judgment about the Trump indictment. But the media, the media wants to discredit the very idea that Trump could be the victim of a political prosecution. That belief is no longer allowed. But it's not like they've never seen this before.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.